If you've lost your eviction case due to non-payment of rent, you can file an appeal for more time regardless of the outcome. Some good news. After your hearing, you have 5 days to appeal. Just by filing your appeal with a document called the Statement of Inability to Afford Court Costs, SOI for short, you can get 5 more days for a total of 10. Your eviction hearing happened in the Justice of the Peace Court. You will file your appeal in the same court. You, the person who was evicted, must file in person. It takes the JP Court about 2 weeks to send your documents to the County Court, which will decide your appeal. Remember, you have 5 days to appeal after your hearing. If your hearing is on Thursday, December 10th, then you must file your appeal no later than Tuesday, December 15th. Always call to check, but if the court is closed, the deadline is the next day. To get all 10 days, you must appeal on the 5th day. 5 days after you file the appeal form, you must pay 1 month's rent to the clerk at the JP Court. After that, if you need more time to find a new place to live, you must continue to pay rent at the County Court as it becomes due under your lease. The County Court cannot take your payment until they have your case in their system. So call first and pay within 5 days of the date they received it. You may stay on the property until your case is set for a hearing in County Court, so long as you deposit future monthly rent to the County Court. It may take about 1 to 2 months for your case to be set for an appeal hearing, so you may wish to use this additional time to find a new place to live and seek out additional resources. If you don't file an appeal by the 5th day or do not pay into the JP Court and County Court registries, your landlord has the right to remove you before the appeal is done. By filing an appeal and meeting the payment obligations, you have more control over the time frame you must vacate by. For more information on relocation services provided by the City of San Antonio, please click the link below. There are 2 documents that can be filed for your appeal. Most importantly, the SOI must be filed 5 days after the judgment. The second document, the Defendant's Answer Form, can be filed at the JP Court at the same time as your SOI or filed in the County Court after the County Court has received your appeal. This section provides instructions for completing the SOI. For more information about completing and filing a Defendant's Answer Form, please click the link below. The SOI, the Statement of Inability to Afford Court Costs. This is a form that asks about your financial situation. The judge reviews this to determine if you are eligible for an appeal bond waiver. You will need your eviction judgment on hand to fill out the first page of the SOI. A few boxes you should check. On page 3, it asks whether you are represented by legal aid. Unless you've signed a contract with a lawyer for this appeal, you should check the box "I am not represented by legal aid." Just getting help or information from legal aid does not mean you are represented. On page 9, it asks you to check a box telling the court what you are unable to afford. Check the second box, that includes the appeal bond. At the end, you need to make a declaration that everything you said is true and correct. The form gives you 2 options. Option 2 requires a notary and a valid ID, so most people choose option 1. To recap, if you were evicted for non-payment of rent and you need more time after receiving an eviction judgment, for the most amount of time, file the SOI for your appeal in JP Court on the 5th calendar day after your judgment. you must pay 1 month's rent to the JP Court Registry 5 calendar days after filing the SOI. Continue to pay rent as it becomes due under your lease to the county court for additional time on the property until your next hearing. Head to this website for more information about the process.